All right, I got a question for you guys. How much were you guys played for Jeff Evans? How much were you aware of his father, Jack? Did you guys know much about it? Because you weren't, you came after him, after, Jack had retired and Jake had retired, Jake Lynch. But how much were you aware of Jack's success in building this program?
Yeah, I was aware because I had an older brother who's he played. He was 6 years older than me, so didn't play a lot. But I remember coming to all the games and watching Jack's teams play and seeing the success that they had. I remember actually, I think it was when the Mike Vandegaard year where they made it to state. So I remember actually coming out of school, heading down there with my brother and my dad to watch them play, and so I was definitely familiar with the success that his teams had in the 80s and 90s.
Right. It was all kind of new to me. I started going to games probably until maybe the 6th, 7th grade when we started playing more traveling ball, and then seeing some of the guys you mentioned earlier play. But I really didn't know anything about it until coming here and seeing some of this stuff up on the walls. But didn't grow up I grew up going to not in the public school system, and so just wasn't around it or as aware of it as much until probably 7th, 8th grade. And then I think when Evs came in, probably was it 8th grade in like 96, 97. I remember coming to some camps, like 8th grade camps, and seeing them, and so that was kind of my first experience.
So what players and teams that you guys were aware of? Like you said, the Vandegaards, that kind of like when Jefferson basketball kind of came on your radar was the 90 team, and they got to see a tournament, Mike Vandegaard, and players and teams that you remember that came before you guys.
Yeah, I think that was probably the era where I started to take notice of it. Obviously, knew of you and your teams, before that. But yeah, I think when I first started coming, gosh, that was probably fifth grade. I started coming to the games and here. But yeah, that's probably what I remember the most.
Nate, anything?
I just remember like the older brothers, who I remember the most. Tim's older brother, Lane Kiffin at the time. So Chris Kiffin was on the teams who we grew up playing with. So going and watching Lane and Mike Spencer, like that I can remember sitting over here.
You don't remember Mike Carr
with the crew?
We're thinking of